Count me out. I'm not done yet.
Sexton taking the 450 title.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to round 4 of the RM Fantasy SXperts. I am Chase.
I'm Charles.
We are your hosts on this lovely Wednesday afternoon, and this is the official fantasy game of Monster Energy Supercross. Stoked to see all these people already in the live chat joining us today. Chuck, we got a lot to talk about.
We do. We
got a red, an orange 7 number plate here with the red backdrop.
Let's go.
We got little drama with old Jett Lawrence and Ando, which I know the chat's going to be going off about that. But we got AJ Catanzaro, who is going to be calling in today's show, which he is in the whole Lawrence corner. Like he's a part of that crew. So
see if we can get some insider information.
Yeah. Oh, he's not expecting a whole lot, but I just, maybe we'll see what he says, what he maybe would have done in that situation. But hello, and thank you for joining us. Yeah, this is round 4, Anaheim 2 coming up this weekend, our first Triple Crown of the year. So a lot of the stats we're going to be talking about today are all pretty much Triple Crown based. Looking back at last year, what we saw and what we got going on. Yeah, I just saw Sean625 posted some people winning that dough. Taylor Lake, $10.59. Owen Ware, $11. People got some cash to go spend on the Rocky Mountain website.
I love it.
I love that, dude. But let's get right into it, dude. You guys know why we're playing RM Fantasy SX, because we give away over $100,000 in prizes each year. Sid, show them right now what the grand prizes are this year. For those that maybe haven't seen it yet, Chuck, which bike would you take, the 450 SXF or that 250 SX?
Oh, man, that's such a tough call. I am kind of a two-stroke guy right now.
Okay.
Been loving them, but both good options, and you get the suspension set up for you.
Yeah, it's true. Race Tech does it all.
Yep. So first place, KTM 450 SXF. Second place, the 250 SX. And third place, you're getting the KTM SXE3. Fourth place, the trip to Fastway. You're getting the Moto training session with a pro. Fifth place, tires for a year from Dunlop. Sixth place, the 2 Stasic 16 eDrive bikes. Seventh place, the Motion Pro tool and accessory package spending spree. I believe that's like $2,000 worth of tools. Insane. Eighth place, you're getting that generator from Honda along with those accessories. Ninth, the Fly racing gear and spending spree. 10th place, Oakley goggles or sunglasses spending spree.
Ooh, and those are just the grand prize. Remember, we do the 10 weekly prizes. What do we have for weekly this week? Sid and Nick, roll them up there. Look at that, $500 spending spree. I'm hoping Malcolm Stewart can make that 7 gear look a little bit better running up front this week in this Triple Crown. We will see. Second place this week, you get Bridgestone Battlecross tires. Third place, the Fastway Air EXT pegs. Then we got FXR, Matrix Concepts, ASV, which in fact, the guys from ASV were just in here today walking through our warehouse.
Good guys.
Yes, Rhino Power, you guys know it. 8th place, we got Fly Racing, Casual Package, a Acerbis spending spree, and of course, 100% sunglasses of your choice. I have some 100% mountain bike sunglasses, love them.
Yeah.
Super lightweight, super comfortable. Anyway, so that's what's up for grabs. And, of course, you guys know we do the fantasy cash this year. So now each and every race, your points translate directly into cash that you can spend on Rocky Mountain's website.
Yep. Good for a month.
Yeah.
Use it within a month.
But, okay, let's jump right into it here. Oh, ticket giveaway. So, Detroit. I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be my first. I haven't got the jitters yet. I'm going to be at Anaheim, too, this weekend, by the way, if anybody's there. I'm going to try and say hi, but I'm going to be shadowing Lurch all day, Friday and Saturday, so be running around with my head cut off. But after that, though, the following weekend, I'll be in Detroit, and that will be my first race where I am 100% solo live announcing with Haley on the floor.
Should
so
be
I've got one more weekend to figure this out.
You got it.
Yeah, but yeah, it's going to be good. Shout out, that's got to be Christian. Shout out to Cartwright, who missed that privateer payout by one spot in the LCQ this last weekend.
Dang it.
I know. But we done it. Ooh, Go Ride says, he's going to see me in Detroit.
Cool.
Sick. I like it. All right. Well, we're going to give away 20 tickets to Detroit. To win those or to get some tickets, all you have to do is after this video is over, not in the live chat, after it's all over, comment down below and just tell us if you can make it to Detroit. Airfare, all that, travel is not included. It's just tickets. But if you can make it, tell us that, and then how many tickets you would need. And then we're going to go through and randomly select some people and give away some tickets. So make sure you go do it.
Should be a good time.
Oh,
yeah.
Great time. Indoor stadium. Don't have to worry too much about that. Oh, Glendale. It was Glendale, not Detroit. Glendale tickets. Sorry, we already did Detroit.
Yep.
Rachel, who picks the people, is like, Chase, we already did
Giving
Detroit.
them away twice.
I thought we were 2 weeks ahead, but maybe I was wrong. We're giving away 20 tickets to Glendale Supercross. Yeah, no kidding.
Sorry, guys.
Idiot.
But hey, good news for anyone in that area.
Phoenix.
Or if you're going to fly there or whatever.
Comment below if you can make it to Phoenix. Sorry, Rachel. Glad she's watching the show. Just testing her. I was testing Rachel there. All right, let's get into it. KTM Leaderboards. Here we go. What do we got going on here?
What do we got? What a mix-up is all I'm saying. Do you know, where'd you finish in the points?
Well, I got 40.
40?
I got my only pick right was Hunter. So I got Hunter right. So I got 40 points of the weekend. It was my best week so far. You're still beating me because you tied me. You got 40 points as well. So I can't even gain points on you when I feel like I did okay. How many? You got 42, right?
I got 40. So, yeah, I got Hunter as well. And then I kept mixing up the top five because I'm like, man, it's so greasy.
But did you put Kenny in first after he went P1 in qualifying?
Yeah. I put Kenny in first.
You said you would.
Got it done because I said I would.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, I started mixing things up. I had Anderson and Cooper in there.
Yeah.
And then I switched it up. Then I was like, AP is going to do good. Put him in there, but in the wrong order. And then same thing with Lawrence.
Okay.
With Jett. And, so I got a few points with that, plus Wildcard, and ended up okay.
It's been wild. I got some questions for AJ as far as, like, do some of these guys 3 races, 3 winners, which is cool, right? Some parity in there.
Awesome.
But Webb, Anderson, Tomac, Roczen. So there's still 4 dudes that I have on that list of guys that I feel will win a race. And I guess my question for AJ soon is, like, does that need to happen now? Or are these guys okay with leaving the first 4 races not having a win on their belt yet?
I'm getting nervous for Tomac.
Well, because I feel like once you get like 5, 6, 7 rounds in, if you haven't won a race yet, is it like, have we ever had, this would be good trivia. Maybe somebody knows this. I don't know. What's the latest we've ever gone into a season before a rider got their first win and then won the title?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That would be a good stat.
It would. I'm going to find, we'll find that out. We'll look that up. Christian, if you're listening. But let's put up the leaderboard here. What do we got right now? There it is. Char, 179 points. Oh, my gosh. I'm already losing by over 100 points. Here. Oh, it's terrible. Look at the SXperts group, though.
Yeah.
SKS Nap, 116, $140. Snap, Snap, Snap. Charles, as Charles would say.
Nap. 137.
Mom Jen.
Yep.
1/3. Probably beating her husband, I'd imagine.
Tuna can ski.
Tuna can ski. Okay. Tuna. All right. Good job. Yeah, Charles, all I know is that we're getting our butts kicked.
Yeah.
That's all right, though. San Diego top scores just for the weekly. 3 people up there with 90, and then so we had quite a few scores in the 80s or better, so not bad. Which was tough, though, because AP won. Jett, again, 4th, not on the box again. So, man, whoever got a lot of points, they were onto something.
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Let's go over the stats here as far as what picks looked out to. This is a Bridgestone race recap, excuse me. Chuck, at least we were above average.
We did well above average.
Average score was 22.41, which is predictable, I think, when Jett, Tomac, and Sexton are all off the podium and AP wins.
Yeah.
Lowest score in round 3 since 2019, and it was only a little over a point better than that. Still no perfect scores. So we've only had 2 perfect scores in the last 8 rounds, going back to last year. Almost 18%, which was me and you, got Hunter correct in the wild card.
Yep.
We hadn't had over 1% before that. Jeez.
Yeah.
Nobody got 5 picks right. Only 0.04% got 4 picks correct.
Yep.
Let's see here. Not even 50% got 1 pick right. 1 person had the top 5 in their picks in some type of order. Oh, man. Hunter Lawrence, only rider to place in the position he was most picked in. Interesting.
That is.
How many people had AP picked to win?
Only 31.71. So almost 32% had AP in their top 5, and only 6.5% had him on their podium.
Jeez. Even after McElrath's 4th, only 0.75 had him back in their top 5.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
can understand that. It was super muddy the week before. And then, yeah, just over 50% had Webb in their top 5.
Jeez.
So,
Man.
interesting.
I don't know. I'm just glad I got at least 1 pick right. And honestly, like when it was happening, I saw Tomac because I had him up there. I had Kenny high up there. So all the guys that had my top 5 all crashed in like the first 3 laps. It's not looking good for Kenny.
It's not.
Second time he's hole-shotted this year and then threw it away on the very first lap. But I'm going to tell you right now, when we get to our picks here in a little bit and we talk about this, I am high on Kenny.
Yeah.
I'm really high on Kenny.
Yeah, he's riding good.
Oh, man. It's going to be good. What else do we hear? Some news and updates here. Oh, do we have the pick pie charts? Can we see those? We got the pie charts, Sid? First place,
30% Sexton, not surprising.
But
Jett Lawrence, only 18%. That's kind of surprising.
It's really surprising that Jett was that low. I know Sexton had won, but it was a full mud race.
Yep.
And I don't know, maybe because people saw it was going to be a muddy track again.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, and I guess you kind of saw how he struggled, and then he had made some comments.
Yeah, which we'll get into. I don't know Sexton's just eating up that top 3 pie chart right now. Tomac was the top pick for 3rd. I mean, I don't know. I'm curious to see where people put Jett going into this weekend. Is he going to be up there?
Whole different deal.
Because
weather's looking good.
Oh, amazing. Like 75 and sunny.
Yep.
Because Anaheim won. Wasn't Jett like 85 or something like that % of the pick to win?
Insane, yeah.
Like the highest pick we've ever had?
Yep.
All right, well, I don't know. We're going to get right into it.
Hey, I'm going to stir the pot.
What's
Probably
up?
going to put him in first.
Who, you?
You're going to put him in first.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a target on his back.
It's a dry race, dude.
It is a dry race.
It is a dry race.
It's going to be interesting.
You can't take him out in the first 2 corners. Good luck.
Yep.
Yeah. Him and Kenny are honestly the 2 riders that I would not want to see rip a whole shot right now.
Yeah. Yeah, if they get out front, they're gone.
Could get a little scary.
And thriving.
Yep.
That's right. All right, well, we're queuing up Mr. Catanzaro. We're going to get him ready here in just a moment. Oh, gosh. What's up?
News?
What's that? The news? Did you see Ducati's new bike?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it could be cool. I don't know about that front fender, though. But,
It looks pretty big.
That's, I don't know.
But everyone's going to have their opinion.
They got to do their thing.
All right.
Ducati's got to be Ducati. They got the Desmo valve system.
Whatever it is.
No springs.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay. All right, well, with that being said, let's talk to one of the best guys that we've ever done. This man endured. If you want to see what the peaks and valleys of riding a dirt bike can look like in a 24-hour time frame, no man knows better than this guy right here, AJ Catanzaro. Cat, how you doing, man?
I was just reflecting with Wes. I still think about the 24-hour race. In fact, now that I've built my business and have all these employees, I'm copying your idea and I'm bringing all my employees to do it this year. So I think is it in October?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's on our calendar. So we're doing it, and we're
not
gonna
like your employees.
But what's the challenge? Are you just going to do it to do it, or are you going to do it like with some sort of challenge or thing in mind?
So we haven't got that far in the thought process yet, but I think that I have enough employees where we might have to do something similar in a head-to-head type situation, and we might have to have more than 2 teams even.
Hey, Moto Academy versus Rocky Mountain, dude. If you drop that challenge, dude, we'll accept it.
We should probably do something like that because, man, I remember it was just a roller coaster ride of emotions because once it ended, I never wanted to do it again. And now that they're far enough removed, I think about it frequently.
Well, the worst part about it for you guys is you had our backup bike that was like, we took all the good stuff off both bikes and put them all onto one, and then some junky, weak springs, everything on your guys.
Piston, but that was your guys' fault because you gave us some bad jetting. But the best part was, though, is that AJ, he went after I did to start the day, and we couldn't get him off the motorcycle on his first go. He did like 5 laps. He wouldn't pull over in the pits. And then here comes like 2 o'clock in the morning, and we can't find him because he's in the sprinter van under some blankets hiding because he doesn't want to go back out. One of the best memories. But yeah, if you're going to do it again, that sounds like a good time. Hey man, congratulations too on the baby girl. For people that don't know, Millie, 1111. So the dad life.
Shout out Millie, 1111. Yeah, and Wes said his first baby was born on 1111.
Really? Holy smokes.
Yeah. So it's as we were getting close, and I think the due date was the 18th, and I was like, oh, how cool would 1111 be?
Yeah.
Sure enough, we made it happen. Made it happen.
Make a wish.
Oh, dude. AJ talked about the 24-hour race. Now I'm thinking about that. Speaking of dirt bikes, Starkvarg.
Yeah.
Charles wants to ask you about that. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I know you had that Alta for a while. Now you got the Starkvarg. I have a million questions, like how it performs compared to the Alta, the battery life, how it compares to a gasser, all that kind of stuff. And I saw you put up a video where, talking about keeping the feet on the pegs, and you have that rear brake on the handlebar, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
what can you tell us?
I owned an Alta, and I got rid of that last year at some point. And now, having spent time on the Stark, I did opt for the handbrakes because in my opinion, it's like, okay, if you're not using the shifter with the left foot, and I'm all about keeping the feet on the pegs, right? Why would you need the rear brake pedal on your foot as well? The only thing you have to remember, and I use the clutch more than I think I do. I teach all my students, like, hey guys, stay away from the clutch, because you're usually having to kind of pull people away from using it too much, right? But when you get to a certain level, I forget how often I use it. So for example, through a whoop section or through a set of rollers, every time my front end gets lofted up, I'm using the clutch to modulate exactly where that front end is. So on the Stark, I accidentally would do it all, but it would be the rear brake instead of the clutch. So it would kind of work, but it wouldn't really have the effect. I will say I love the Alta, but the Stark is probably, I'd say it's easily 20 times better.
Wow.
Well, I'm curious about, so in my opinion, a clutch is kind of a bacon saver too. Like you get in trouble, get the whiskey throttle, and whoop, saves you. How do you do that on the Stark? Or is
the rear brake can help. The rear brake on the hand can help in that situation. But a good example would be, I was trying to practice a couple of whips off this big tabletop at a track in Florida, and it was deep enough into my session where I kind of had arm pump a little bit too. And I also had it in 80 horsepower mode for some reason, which I definitely shouldn't have. So every time I would take off, I first of all, couldn't time the jump to save my life. And then I kept overshooting it really badly. When I would overshoot it, I would just have these like flashes in my head, like how easy it would be to kind of, I think Ronnie Renner did it at Mini O's one year on the Alta, where he just whiskey throttled off of a berm. It's a little scary, but yeah, because like I said, you just get so used to using the clutch. I think you could adapt and figure it out. I do think the handbrake helps to some extent. But it's amazing what they've done. I thought the Alta was amazing for like an attempt one of a motorcycle. The Stark for an attempt one of a motorcycle is ridiculous. And unpopular opinion here, I think it's the best looking bike that's ever been made. Especially in that dark gray. In that dark gray, it just looks, I'm like a sucker for like cool futuristic looking. I don't know. I love it.
Have you looked at the Ducati yet? What's your thought? Give me a brief yes or no on the Ducati, just looks-wise. How do you like it?
Well, I think I saw a photo of it, but I don't know if it was like a concept photo or if it was the real deal. The front fender was a little funky, and there was, right? Is this the...
Yeah, and the shroud has like scoops in it.
Yeah, it seems that what I like about the Stark is it's simplistic, where I would think... I can't remember exactly what the Ducati looked like, but I don't know if I would describe it as simplistic looking.
Yeah, it's easy, I think, for these guys. When you come out with the all-new bike, you want to have that shock and awe, and I can see it'd be easy to go maybe too far in one direction. But I agree with you. I think Stark crushed it. Dude, championship so far. We're 3 rounds in. Is there any conclusions we can draw from this? My opinion is... the one thing that I've taken away so far is that Cooper Webb, in my eyes, is next to Jett as the biggest title threat 3 rounds in. Haven't seen, like, Chase Sexton, we know he can be really good, but we still haven't seen, like, those flashes of just all-out raw speed yet. Webb showed he's got really good speed at A1. Last week, he was hunting down Plessinger. So I feel like Webb's just got like a little bit different aggression in his riding this year. Outside of that, are there any takeaways that you have from the first 3 rounds? Any big surprises, letdowns?
I think the big takeaways potentially so far would just be more mind game, maybe related, right? You see frustration and the whole Anderson Jett thing, which was really interesting to me. You see certain guys getting confidence early in the season that maybe normally wouldn't have confidence like that early in the season, like Plessinger, for example.
Yeah.
I think of what he can potentially do with a bit of confidence behind him. Also, I didn't expect Webb, but Webb is always a guy that I somehow either forget about or write off for some reason in my head. And then he just proves why nobody should ever write him off ever. So yeah, it's I'm excited as a fan and thank God I haven't been racing these so far, but I'm excited as a fan to watch some that aren't in the mud. But yeah, I think conclusions can be drawn maybe less so on like speed, but you can start to get a gist of the vibe and how people are feeling, because I think that when you get more than a few rounds in, when you get 6-8 rounds in, that's what it is. You have guys that become complacent because they're no longer in the chase. You have guys that start to separate themselves from the pack, and then they'll end up, the cream will rise to top no matter what at that point. Where at the beginning of the season, you always see the parity, whether it's muddy or not, right? What are the points? I know Plessinger is leading, but beyond that, I have no freaking idea.
It's a gaggle. I mean, you've got Plessinger up top, but then all the way back to like Ferrandis and Tomac. Tomac's 12 points back right now of first, and like Ferrandis, I think, is 10 or 11, but that's going back to like your top.
Well, you got Anderson, Webb, and Ferrandis tied for 11 back.
And then Tomac, I think, is 12 back. Yeah, so they're all really close. I mean, 12 points right now with this field isn't much, but that kind of leads me to the next talking point is
Jett's 4 down.
4 down.
Okay.
Jets, yeah. But right now, we've had 3 races, 3 winners, but you still have Anderson, Tomac, Webb, and Roczen, 4 dudes who, like, I don't think anyone would disagree. All these guys are most will. Anderson's the only real question mark, but I feel like these 4 guys probably going to win races this year, right? But for these 4 that haven't won yet, and we're going into round 4, do you feel like they're starting to feel the pressure of like, I need to get my first win? Because we were talking about it. I don't know what the latest round that a rider has won and then gone on to win the title. But if we get 5, 6, because we could have Roczen win this weekend, and then Webb gets his first win, and then Tomac. But by that point, we're 7, 8 rounds in, and one of these riders is going to maybe snag their first win. Is that too late if you're on a championship hunt?
No, I don't think so. If you're in a situation where there is also parity the way that there is, I don't think so. I also don't think that the top guys think that way. And maybe some do, some don't. But that's what I've learned in like training with Jett and Hunter and spending a lot of time living with them and riding with them all last season. I learned why they're as high level as they are. It's a different way of thinking. It's a different way of thinking that I've been a professional athlete since I was 16 years old. And yeah, the best finish I've had was a 4th. I didn't really do that well. And now I definitely know why, because it was like, I was thinking like a loser. And the way that Jett and Hunter think is so different. And I would be curious to know how many other people have that same mindset.
What's different about their mindset, or what's one of the things that stands out with that?
So it's the definition of a growth mindset, in that Deegan is a really obvious example of that as well, where you can, if you pay attention to it, when you listen to interviews and when you hear them talk, it's the core, like the foundation of the way that they think is leveling up and learning. So therefore, there's no such thing as an issue or a problem or a bad result or even pressure for that matter, because it's more so like it's just learning. And whether you make a mistake or do it correctly, you can learn things from it, and you can kind of level up one little fraction of a percentage at a time. And all of that, like people that perform well in high pressure situations think that way. And after spending time around them and reading all the books that I've been reading that year, and it was just like, okay, now I'm spending time around them. Now I'm putting 2 and 2 together. I'm like, oh, these guys are it. They're the embodiment of how one would think. And then hearing how, totally not motocross, but Kobe Bryant. I never realized how intelligent that guy was until after he passed away, and then listening to his interviews. And it's like, well, okay, yeah, no wonder he was so special. Because these guys think a certain way.
Right.
And think like a champion.
Right. Yeah. It's different. It's different.
Yeah.
It's that's what separates the guys that can win a race and then the guys that will win championships and keep winning championships. A guy can win a race with a bad mindset, but you can't really win a championship, or you can't win multiple championships with the wrong mindset.
Interesting. Yeah, I was listening, and it was interesting conversation about Plessinger and Sexton, how their mindsets going into Anaheim 1 are so different, where Sexton shows up and a podium, he gets a 3rd, but he's not happy with it, right? Because, he was almost kind of like surprised by it, like he didn't expect it, but he's also upset about it. But then AP gets a 4th, and he's just totally stoked on it. So you can just tell like the difference in the mindset between AP getting a 4th and Sexton getting a 3rd. And then, but now with AP getting this first win, do you feel like do you need to see a little bit more out of him before you put him in that championship contention discussion?
Yeah, but I think he's the type of person that kind of runs off of that, having fun and that confidence, and just like, yeah, that's a different animal altogether. Now, the biggest thing with a person like that is I would just question maybe the consistency to be able to get the championship, because that's a lot of pieces to put together. Like following up off of was that his first 450 win?
First
okay.
one.
Following up after a first 450 win, and then like being expected to carry that momentum the entire rest of the season and consistency the rest of the season, that's a That's a
It's tough.
big ask.
You know what's
Yeah.
interesting is as you were talking about Kobe Bryant, I started thinking about past champions, going all the way back to Villapoto and Stu and Reed, and then you get the Dungies. We've always, every champion we've seen, we've never had an Aaron Plessinger win a Supercross title. You never have the just super outgoing, happy-go-lucky guys. It seems like every guy that wins these championships is a jerk. Like they're not very, their personalities don't shine on the podium. Like Tomac, he's never come off as a jerk, but just doesn't, he's not, what's the word I'm looking for? He's not an extrovert, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is it kind of necessary to be a Supercross champion that you kind of have to be in that mental mindset? Like a Kobe Bryant? Like there's a lot of people that didn't like Kobe. Just thought he was just a flat out jerk because he was so committed to being the greatest. It was almost like he felt like he
It's
didn't.
off-putting to other people sometimes. Yeah. So, and I am always, I can relate to that now being like the CEO of my business. Is like I'm always dancing the fine line of like, am I being too hard on people because I just simply have like, it's not that I'm like requiring perfection, but I just want people to think like an owner and like to level up and think outside the box and just
Right.
level up. And when somebody doesn't take the initiative to do that, I can be hard on people. So you think of like a Kobe Bryant around his team, he's expecting his team to elevate to his level on practice days, to put in the work, all of that stuff.
Right.
Thankfully, these racers in Supercross, it really is, it's all revolves around them. So it's a bit different, and that can make or break people. Everybody being surrounded and everything all being for you can either help you or it can ruin you.
Yeah, you see a lot of these guys like the Villapotos and that kind of bust out of their shells after they're done racing. So I just wonder, can an Aaron Plessinger, who now just won, and let's say he goes out and wins again, right? He extends his point lead, but now he has that pressure. And then if things aren't going how he expects them to from that point forward, it's going to be really hard to just continue that happy-go-lucky, because up to this point, he's been able to have that persona. And it's not that he's faking it, but he hasn't had that pressure of like, I'm now a race winner. The expectations are changing. So I'm just kind of curious to see if he continues on this trend, like, and then things don't go well. He has a bad race or a couple bad races. Can he continue to be the AP that we want to see? Just kind of curious.
Yeah. And I think it's mandatory that he needs to remain that way.
Right.
There's nothing worse than it becomes obvious when people, sometimes even earlier in their careers, start one way, and then you see an obvious trajectory to them becoming really mundane, and it's like you don't want to fast forward through their podium speeches, and then maybe like at the tail end of their career you'll catch more glimpses of kind of their true personality. But
Right.
for a lot of guys, it takes, like you said, when RV retired, and finally you can see, oh, he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
I wish people didn't think that they had to conform to, this is a whole different topic, but just the boring media, we need more people that are like an Aaron Plessinger. And a lot of the guys are pretty cool.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys are pretty cool. And then you hear the podium interviews and you're like, ah, gosh, can't just say how you feel, say something.
Keeping the sponsors happy. Yeah.
They need to do media. A lot of them need to do media training.
Yeah.
So
Good.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I just saw a couple comments. Good luck getting Tomac to call in, blah, 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 all that stuff. I don't think Chase meant like, I don't think he meant like jerk. It's just,
like Tomac's gotten way better.
Yeah. Showing less personality, maybe.
I mean, Tomac's come a long ways, but he's just very, but that's just his personality, right?
Well, and even like Dungy, he was really nice always.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe
And
less
I
outgoing.
actually like, I kind of like Tomac's interviews. Tomac's interviews actually feel pretty genuine to me. And maybe more so in recent years, like since he's had his kids. Does he have multiple now? Mm-hmm. Since he's had his kids, he does seem even a little bit more, he's still introverted and he's not like necessarily outgoing in the interviews, but he seems genuine.
Yeah.
Even in like I saw a Dirt Shark video of him with Deegan when Deegan was at his place.
Yeah.
Tomac's cool.
Yeah.
He's super
100%.
introverted. There's no question about that. But Tomac seems cool.
I agree. All right, look, you're close to the Lawrence camp, so we gotta talk about this. We don't need to dwell on it for too long, but this whole controversy with Jason Anderson, I'll give you my take on it first. I think people need to cut Jett some slack. He's a 20-year-old kid who has just went 22-0. So, and he's got his whole camp telling him you're the guy to beat, and he's also very confident, and he should be. And so in this situation, though, I guess my only thing would be like, hey, calm down. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to learn from those mistakes. I also think Anderson needs to chill out a little bit, and I don't know if Anderson needs to go blast him on social media and throw him under the bus, but I don't know. What's your take on it?
Okay, so there's, I guess, without going super in depth and getting myself in trouble here, there's two things I think could have been done better. One, and I know that Dazzy and Emma know this. I think there's lessons to be learned in that, and that Jett should handle it, and that Lucas shouldn't handle it. And they know that they'll learn from that, but it's just like that type of thing happens. The emotion is going to get to you sometimes. I've been in both people's shoes. I've been the guy that's slow and in the way. I've been the guy that's trying to pass somebody that's getting in my way. So I can understand from both perspectives in that sense. I see Anderson's perspective in saying that like Jett should have handled it instead of his team handling it. I understand that. But then when you post a social media thing like that, it's borderline bullying, because you know what you're doing. You're queuing somebody up and you're teeing somebody up for then just compounding negativity. And if you go through that comment thread, you have a lot of other riders. Even hopping on the train, and I don't like that. It feels like bullying to me. The bullying is definitely like a trigger word, but it doesn't feel productive.
Right.
You know, I've had that happen. I had it happen years ago when I accidentally said something about buttery.
I was gonna say, don't say the B word.
Well,
that got, one line of that podcast got clipped. I was in the wrong for how I said it without a question, but it was also taken out of context. And then Buttery knew what he was doing. He laid it up there on the internet, and then next thing you know, boom, 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 boom. It just turns into this.
controversy sells.
AJ got canceled.
bullying.
He got canceled.
I basically got canceled. Yeah. So
Terrible.
and I don't like that. So Anderson knew what he was doing when he posted that. And I will say, Anderson's pretty real when it comes to that stuff. Like what he wrote in the message within that, I agree with. To take it a step further, I just think that probably shouldn't have went on Instagram. But yeah.
Could have been a private conversation.
Yeah, and I get it. And look, like some people say I'm biased towards Jett, as like I'm not, but I also know like Jett probably doesn't control his own social media, and he probably doesn't have a say in how he's going to apologize. I think you're right, AJ. I think his camp learned a valuable lesson. Like, hey, in certain situations, we should probably just let Jett handle it, coach him, guide him. But we can't just have this persona that Jett's going to hide behind all of us anytime something doesn't go the way that we wanted it to go.
Jett has really good character. The whole family has really good character. So they know that. It's just you need to practice that each time. It's easy to be protected by your team at all, and necessary in a lot of situations. And then in other situations, it's a good learning experience as a human to just go up to the other person and be like, that was my bad. I messed up.
Sure. No, good enough. But all right, well.
That's the dad talking. That's the dad talking to me.
I know.
Yeah.
And it's pretty wild. But I'm curious to see. I think people are blowing it way out of proportion as far as like Anderson retaliating or anything. Like Anderson, he'll blow it up, but he's also pretty good at just leaving it be. It's like he'll say his 2 cents and be like, all right, I'm over it, move on. So it is what it is.
I think so. I feel like Anderson is probably one of the top 2 most dirty / aggressive riders out there, but it's not a vindictive type of aggressive. I don't think. I think he just does what he has to do to move through the pack. So.
Yep. Should be good. All right. Well, hey man, tell us about the Moto Academy real quick. You got a lot going on. We were talking on the phone the other day, and you're like, dude, I never thought I'd be the guy just at a desk having phone calls all day long. But tell us a little bit about the Moto Academy and how people can find you and be a part of the Academy. Are you still? Looks like you're still traveling to a lot of places to do the Academy, all that. So tell us all about it.
Yeah. Thank you, by the way. So if you just go to the motoacademy.com, you guys can see where the tour is taking place. We're doing a world tour in 2024. Myself, our head coach, Mitchell Prescott, are traveling all around. I'm trying to do less of them, but as the days go on, they keep booking me for more and more. And next thing you know, I end up everywhere. So I'm going to be in, I don't know, probably 30 to 40 different states, probably 10 different countries. So just go to the website, check it out. We're constantly adding dates. I think every 3 days we add new dates to the website. Jeez. And then if you guys want to train online, you can do that at themotoacademy.com. And then you can download the Moto Academy app from there so you can train with me online.
Oh, perfect. It's pretty wild. Yeah. Your wife needs to talk to my wife, or maybe she's not cool with that. The traveling as much as you do, it's tough, man. Now that you have kids too, you're going to start to know what it's like to be gone when you're missing your kids at home.
It's a lot less now, and thankfully I've been pretty strategic with it. So in 2022, I did 120 classes. So I was like a rock band on tour. Like I was never home. 2023, I did 65 classes, and in 24, I'll probably do about 50, and then Coach Mitchell will supplement about the other 70. So Mitchell's schedule is going to be pretty intense. And what we're doing is we're picking locations to where Allie and Millie can fly and go with me.
Cool.
So that's kind of the idea. Like when we do our international tour, we're going to go live in the UK and then bounce back and forth to different locations from there.
Right on. Oh, here's a technique question.
Okay.
So you talk a lot about keeping the back super flat, right?
Yep.
Here, and this is personal too, because I'm just like, I have just a rounded back. Like you see, like I look at golf, right? Rory McIlroy. You see those guys that when they stand over the golf ball, they have a nice flat back, or you see like the Chase Sexton. Some guys just have a nice flat back. I can't do that when I'm riding a dirt bike.
Like you have good posture sitting at that desk.
That's because I'm trying to fake it right now on camera. But when I try and get like the over exaggerate the flat back, I just feel like it almost makes me in a weird riding position. And maybe I'm overthinking it, because like Tomac and some of these guys, you can see they do have a little bit more of a rounded back. I just need to hear you tell me, it's okay. Some guys just don't have the perfectly flat back, but as long as the hips are back and everything, you can still acquire the right technique.
Wait. Before you answer, I got one more thing.
What?
I'm the same way, but I think it's because my hamstrings are so tight.
Like, you just need to stretch.
All right. Whatever. Okay.
And so yes, hamstrings being tight is a factor, but what I will normally, so I get this question all the time in the app, and somebody's always throwing an excuse out there as to why I can't get into that position. And then I always say, okay, well just set your phone, because this is what's great about the app. They can send in their footage to me. So I say, okay, well set your phone up and then just put your bike on the stand, hop on the stand, and just show me you getting into the position. And every time they can get into the position. It's just that when you ride, you do a couple of things. So first of all, yes, Chase, it is going to feel awkward and over exaggerated, but I always say, like, when you're learning a new technique, you have to over exaggerate it, and it's going to feel funky, especially when you're a dude and you're like poking your butt out and it feels really weird. Mm-hmm. But the two key factors would be like, so we can create a visual here.
One-on-one coaching lesson.
Okay, so driving the knees back,
which
is going to create tight hamstrings. So yes, some people struggle with this.
Okay.
And then the next thing, and this is for a lot of people, so when they're scared, they'll look down. And when you look down, your back rolls. So next thing you know, you just have that kind of turtle shell hunchback look. So if you just aim your sternum up and you go here, a more confident position, now we've got the hips where we want. And it's as simple as that. Like I see pictures of myself or videos of myself when I get nervous going into whoops, and I'll kind of do that thing where I'll push the bike away from me a little bit and I'll kind of roll under. And next thing you know, I look here instead of there.
Okay.
Dang.
And that's
Yeah.
what you get if you join the Moto Academy app. You
Tips.
get tips from
That's a free
AJ.
tip.
Hey, that
I'll send the invoice.
the diamond tip, that one's awesome too.
Oh, with the
Game
hands?
change. Yeah,
Yeah,
with the
making
hands.
angling your hands in so you get the elbows out.
Beautiful.
I've done that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
so thank
Yep.
you.
Actually, I learned to describe that in a simple way from Jett at that Honda video when we were in where the heck were we? Or you were there, Chase, Oregon?
Oh, yeah, the Honda intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We shot a video with Jett there where he taught us how to do it. And a couple of the things he said and the keywords that he said is now how I describe it. And yeah, usually like you can find the root of the problem. And typically when people make an excuse or a reason why they can't get into the position, usually 99% of the time you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll own it.
Hey,
I can do it.
I got
What's
one
up?
more thing right now.
Okay.
So we're getting called out right now.
About
Somebody
what?
was like, hey, remember when callers used to talk about fantasy? So we need your top 5 for the weekend or top 3. Top 3,
Okay.
Triple Crown. Who do you think?
What was it? Is it a triple crown?
It's a
this
triple
weekend?
crowd. Yep.
A2.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know anything.
On-
So top 5, easy. Jett will win. Hunter will get a podium, which will surprise everybody. Probably 3rd. Tomac gets 2nd. Webb 4th. Plessinger 5th.
Okay. I like
Yeah.
it. Well, there you have it,
Nice.
everybody. That is AJ Catanzaro, the 24-hour legend. And, dude, I'm going to hold you to it. 24-hour race. You should
do
come, as a little, like, kind of warm-up, you could come down. I know Gypsy Tales is doing a 8-hour
know.
endurance race in Mesquite that I'm signed up
We-
for.
We were going to do it. Actually, I'm pretty sure we scheduled a class right either at Mesquite or a track right down the road for either the day before or day after. So we were trying to coordinate to get there. Are you doing it, you said?
Yeah, my friend signed me up without telling me.
So what is it? 8 hours, you
A
said?
true friend.
Yeah, it's 500 minutes, which is about 8 hours or something like that.
Yeah, it's not long enough. Yeah, it's not long enough.
You can Ironman it, though.
Still not long enough.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
Well, look, AJ, we appreciate you taking the time to call in. You are obviously very busy with the Moto Academy, but for anybody watching this video, go check out the motoacademy.com, see what AJ's got going on. If you want private lessons, be able to send in footage, you name it, like he just talked about, that's the place to go. He's got a YouTube channel, so subscribe to that as well. AJ, thank you so much for taking the time to
Thank
call
you,
in.
guys.
And we're going to be talking again soon. You can bet on it.
Yes.
Yep,
Let's do it.
thanks for
Thank you,
calling.
guys.
All right, man. We'll
All
talk
right,
soon.
appreciate you.
Okay, see ya.
Toodles.
He toodles. He toodled us.
I love it.
All right, let's get into it here. That was AJ Catanzaro. All right, here we go. That was ASV guest caller. Next up, track trends. Get a little
Track
shot of the
trends.
track here real quick. What do we got up top here? Charles, real quick, give me your thoughts on the track.
Just a real standard track. We got an over-under, left-hand start.
Chuck said standard, like we could go do it.
I've tried riding a Supercross track. It was back when Milestone was open. I could barely ride around it. It's so gnarly.
They let you go on it, or did you snuck on?
I had to go on Thursdays because that was my day off work at the time. And
Yeah, but you have to pay like $60 to ride the
not
Super.
at the time.
You just
Or
went
they
on
just,
it?
dude, track worker was right there. I don't know. I
Oh,
don't know how.
jeez. Anyway, I don't
I
know.
was
It's-
right off.
I always misjudge these tracks and say I don't think they'll. I don't know. It looks like a cool layout. It's about all I got. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are. Yes, the weather is going to be amazing. It's supposed to be in the 70s and sunny, so we will get dry racing. So that is good to know. Here they are, Fox Top Contenders. We have to put Plessinger first in this list?
Yeah. Won
Just-
last week.
Did you hear my practice for the live announcing?
No.
Top Contenders.
Oh, that was your
It's-
practice?
Dude, Lurch is so gnarly. Like live, I can't match
Yep.
that energy. He's
Nope.
he's
Wait,
nuts.
can
You
do that
gotta
again?
be. You just gotta be you, man.
What's that, Nick?
Do it again. Dude, give us your best lurch.
No, dude. I can't even do it. I'll blow your eardrums out.
No, do it.
I'll
Just
peek,
do it.
dude. I don't want to do it.
I'll drop your mic.
No, what are you doing over there? All right, Aaron Plessinger.
AP.
Aaron Plessinger. Yeah, he didn't even make it to the podium to do his interview. Will had to go down on the floor to get the interview in.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
That dude was pumped.
I don't think the fans want to see anybody win as much as AP did. Here he is right here. It's a bummer he got shadowed out by the whole Jett Anderson thing, but dude, what a freaking legend, man. Mm-hmm. Everybody is pumped for that guy, including the dance moves. You think the AMA find him for that?
Is that country dancing?
I don't know what that is, dude. I like it. Well, look, Tomac stopped to congratulate him. That's pretty cool. AP's got to be in your top 5. AJ just put him in there.
Well, yeah, he's been top 5 last couple. Every time.
I'm tired of me telling myself or not putting AP in my top 5 for whatever reason, as if he hasn't proven he should be up there, and then he's done it each week. He's the only rider who's been in the top 5 all 3 rounds.
Yep.
And he just won. What's up?
I almost made the same mistake. I almost didn't put him in last weekend, but I was like, he's been there.
Yeah.
So
his starts have only gotten better. His overall finish right now is just over 3, qualifying where you kind of expect him. His start per gate drop, he's around 5 after lap 1 for an average. Dude, he's just on fire. And look, we all know how it goes. When you win one, it gets easier to win the next. So, dude, do you put AP to win on a dry racetrack, normal conditions?
So his Triple Crown record is not the best, but he's also riding better this year too.
Yeah.
So
they
it's kind of
found
hard to
something
say.
with the
So
bike.
if you put him in there, I think you put him in, but I think you put him at the lower end of the top 5 only because the triple round record isn't as good.
The triple round record?
The triple round record.
Okay.
It's begun.
Okay. Cooper Webb. First, what's up?
Sorry, average of 6.8 in the Triple Crowns last year. So
it's a new AP we're seeing. It's a new AP.
It is.
All right. Cooper Webb. Okay, let's show this real quick. We got some highlights. Webb was pissed off at Sexton for getting in his way. However, I'm not. So Sexton said that his intention was to pull over when they got to the straightaway because Sexton did have Tomac close behind, which they were battling for position. I'm not really upset with Sexton here. I mean, I understand why Webb is mad, but when you look at him, Sid, can you pause it when Sexton's just entering that corner?
You got to plan accordingly.
But look, Sexton is in this corner.
All the way out.
He still can't see Webb. Webb's still a good distance behind him here, and Webb's rut is leading right into where Sexton is going to exit that turn.
Yep.
I don't put fault on Sexton here because for Sexton to slow down enough to let Webb by, say there, he'd have to come to a complete stop, and Tomac's going to catch up to him.
Yep.
And their lines come together. It's not like Sexton went into Webb's line. Sexton's on the far right side of the racetrack.
Yeah.
So I don't really put any fault on Sexton here. I really don't.
I don't.
Lines came together, and then Sexton pulled over after that. But the whole, I just, Webb gave him the middle finger right after this. But I really don't fault Sexton. I don't even think Sexton knew he was right there until their lines came together.
Yeah. I agree, because his foot comes off the bike. He's in perfect position to just continue his line.
Yeah.
But he takes his foot off the bike to try and get out of Coop's way.
If anything, Coop was the one that knew where Sexton was at and still went for it. So I don't know. I don't know. I think Webb's kind of being a little bit overreactive in that situation. I don't fault Sexton. I get he's a lapper, but Sexton was in his line. He held his line, and they came together. So I don't really fault Sexton for that.
Yep, plan accordingly.
And I'm surprised that Sexton took blame and has been apologetic for it. And I wish Sexton would say, dude, I'm not sorry. I was in a line. I held my line. You took a line that came into me. Next time, do better. That's how I feel about it. All right. But anyway, as far as Cooper Webb goes, his first 3 rounds don't reflect how good he's been. He got 6-11-2, should have gotten a podium at A1.
Yep.
His starts and finishes have gotten better by each main and A2 Triple Crowns last season. Let's see. He hasn't got a whole shot since round 5 last season. And his last win was round 7 of last year, so he is due. And last year's overall finishes were 4-2-4 in Triple Crown. So he's been good in Triple Crowns. In fact, we all know what started the whole Webb dominance in 2019. It was a Triple Crown in Anaheim. And that was the finger point to Ken Roczen. That's what started it all.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe that was a finger point he did to Sexton there, not the bird. Anyway. Yeah, he won 1 of the 9 Triple Crown gate drops last year. But, dude, Webb's got to be on your podium, I feel like.
Yeah.
All right.
You got to.
Who else round up with Justin Barcia? I mean, I don't think many people are probably going to repeat Barcia to be on the podium. Maybe they're top 5. I mean, he rode good. It was a quiet third place. I mean, after Webb got around him, you didn't even know Barcia was in third till the results were in. Did you hear Barcia's name on the broadcast after the first 3-4 laps? Wasn't a whole lot. He just kind of rode in third place.
Doing his thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so last 3, 17-3, but obviously under the weather the past weekend and all that.
I don't know. He could, but if Barcia came out in top 5, wouldn't surprise me. But it is a Triple Crown, so you got to back it up 3 times. Jett Lawrence. So it was kind of interesting in that heat race. We have the highlight here. Jett went down. Well, he went through and he blasted the whoops the first lap, past all those dudes. And I told Brent, and I was like, dude, he can't do that every lap. And then sure enough, man, he went down.
Beat him.
Yeah, a little bit. And then we've already talked a lot about the Jett Anderson stuff. I mean, we do have a drone shot that kind of shows what maybe made Jett mad. And again, a little bit of overreacting from Jett, because Jett ran it in hard on Anderson in 2 different corners.
Yep.
And this was before Anderson was holding him up or playing any games. So let's see. We'll watch it. So right here.
Around. So yeah, I feel like
contact, right?
It's not Anderson's fault.
No.
Like he's the one coming up on.
But this is before Anderson and Jett start playing their games, right? So that was the first time. Then this is the same line that Sexton and Webb took. Oh, what do you know? They came together.
Yep.
So this is 2 corners in a row where Jett has made contact with Anderson. So if you're Anderson, I get why you're pissed.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this dude just ran it in on me and made contact in 2 corners. So I get why Anderson is like,
yeah, he ran it in,
screw
and then
you.
he got mad at Anderson.
Yeah, so Anderson was almost retaliating against Jett, and then Jett's getting mad. So it's this total back and forth, but I can see why Anderson was doing what he was doing, because maybe Jett was running in him on a tight. I don't know.
Well, and Jett can't expect Anderson just to pull over.
No.
Like, it's not like he's a lapper or anything. You got to earn it. You can't be like, hey, like, I've won races before. Well, so is Anderson. He's a champion.
Yeah. No,
like,
so I understand why Anderson's a little upset in this situation.
Yep.
Now, okay. Now, should Jett be mad and go call him off and grab his helmet? No. So anyway, it's kind of interesting. When you watch things in replay, you start to learn a few things.
Yep.
Okay, but speaking of Jett, though, if you'd have told me at the start of the year that Jett was going to have 1 podium the first 3 rounds, I'd be like, yeah, you're crazy, especially after Anaheim. But yeah, he only has the 1 win in the 1 podium. His starts, here's a question, Chuck.
Okay.
How much blame can we put on the wet grates and everything for just these crappy starts in the last 2 main events?
I think it's huge.
I mean, is it? It seems like, I don't know. At first I thought the grates weren't as big of a factor, but a lot of these guys are getting wheel spin. I think it's like a 50-50. I think for some riders it's like you're either going to hook up or get wheel spin. You don't really know what's going to happen. I don't know.
Yeah, metal when it's slick or metal when it's wet is always real slick.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. But
even if your tire's somewhat clean.
And I'm sure they were changing their start maps and everything for those conditions, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Okay. He didn't win any of the Triple Crowns in the 250 class. That was always like Jett's Achilles heel when he was in 250s. He never won a Triple Crown. Just could never really figure it out. Had a lot of crashes in Triple Crowns. Don't know if that's going to translate to 450s.
We don't.
But,
and, I mean, it's dry.
Yeah.
I think he's probably going to have a good weekend.
Okay. No, I agree.
So.
All right. And we already talked about Webb. Let's get into Chase Sexton.
You don't want to talk about Anderson?
Oh, that's right. I have my order mixed up. Anderson got 4th. We talked about him. Anderson's historically been pretty good in the Triple Crowns. 2-12-5 are his 3 finishes so far this year.
Yep.
So last year, though, his best results were at Triple Crowns.
Mm-hmm.
So he won 2 mains, and his overall finishes were 2-5-10. So the only checker flags that Jason Anderson took last year were Triple Crowns. Is that an indicator? Is he a better sprinter than closing out a main event? He won 7 races in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. He's tied with Webb for the 5th best average finish. Did I just lisp?
You did.
I just lisped. Oh,
You're picking it
gosh.
up. Congrats. Yeah, overall average finish in the Triple Crowns, 4.11. So he could be up there in the top 5.
I don't know. Okay, let's see here. 2024 results been all over the place. I don't know. It's just he could be there. Led 18 laps and had finishes of 5-1-3 for second overall in A2 last season. So like I said, he's been good at the Triple Crowns.
Yeah.
He took his second overall in Anaheim 2 in 2022. That wasn't a Triple Crown. And he's finished in the top 5 overall in 5 of his last 6 Triple Crowns. So put this man in your top 5.
Yeah. Safe bet.
Safe bet. All right.
I love it.
What are you going to do for old Hunter? I don't know.
Hunter?
Yeah, 7th. Who took 6th? Ferrandis? I don't even know who got 6th place last week. I think it was Ferrandis.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, man.
Let me pull it up.
Well, I don't know. Ferrandis is still one of those mysteries to me. He could come out swinging, but he's right now. Ferrandis is kind of in that bubble. Like he could be a top 5, or he could be. I don't know. He's like that 6th to 10th place range right now, right?
Right there.
Hasn't really done a whole lot that makes you very confident. So we actually have a head-to-head graphic of him and Tomac that we can show up here real quick. Let's look at that real fast. There it is. I mean, Tomac's been really, we're going to get to Tomac next. He's been really good in Triple Crowns. He's the Triple Crown king. So let's see. Average qualifying, Ferrandis 9. I mean, average start per main. The only stat he's better is average main finish, which is very surprising when Tomac's won like pretty much half the Triple Crowns he's been in. Yeah. He's 4th overall in the points right now, though. He's just quietly hanging in there.
Consistent.
He's been one of the most consistent riders so far.
Yeah, 5.66.
Yeah.
So
you wouldn't know that. Just one spot outside the top 5. He took 5th overall at the Triple Crown last season in Anaheim 2. He went 4.65. And what's kind of funny is, like, if you look at his results from last year on Star Yamaha, they're very similar to this year. But I don't know. He's tied with Anderson and Webb for 4th of points right now. Yeah, last 3 Anaheim rounds, he's finished in the top 5 overall. Oof, gosh, dude.
That's sounding real good.
Yeah, he could be a sleeper pick. Only 15% of players had him in their top 5 last round. So what do? Do you put him in there?
I don't have him in there.
Me neither.
It's all about who you're going to eliminate, not who you're going to have in there. And I think some of the other stats look a little better.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well, Christian Martinez is screaming at us right now in the chat because he wants us to mention this. It is a crazy stat here that Malcolm and Craig, and you don't want to dwell on too much negativity, but Malcolm and Craig together have less points combined so far after 3 races than Hunter Lawrence has, and he missed a race or didn't qualify for Anaheim 1.
That is insane.
That is, and it makes us not talk about Malcolm Stewart or Christian Craig, but Malcolm could come out this weekend in top 5.
He totally could. But, well, I think we're going to talk about him in a little bit, so we better save that for a minute.
Yeah, but like stats wise for the start of the season, like he's not going to be in anybody's top 5.
I don't think
unless
so.
you're just like this is the round he bounced back. But
I mean, he's got the speed. It's just you have to be consistent and keep the bike up the whole time and stay out of all the
even in the mud, like 2 mud races in a row. Like you got to show a little bit more consistency for me to want to put you up there.
Yep.
Let's talk about Eli Tomac though.
Let's talk about him.
Couldn't get his bike started in that main. Oh, we had the shot, by the way, of Christian Craig because they didn't show in the broadcast. Here it is right here. Christian Craig just made a right turn in the middle of this rhythm lane.
Boom.
And Tomac literally jumped on him.
Yeah, just a bummer deal.
I watched Craig's vlog, and he said that for a minute he thought he broke his humerus, like he broke his arm. So that's how Tomac crashed, which is a bummer. So kind of out of Tomac's control.
Yeah.
Anyway. Let's see. Tomac, his starts so far this year, 11-2-9, finishes of 9-2-9. That's another thing. If you'd have told me at the start of the year that Tomac has 1 podium and he's gone 9-2-9, I'd be like, that's not looking good.
No.
Hasn't really told the whole story, but he's been around 9th place more than any other rider this season so far, which is kind of crazy. A2 last season, he went 3-2-13. That 13th was that big crash when he landed on the tough block trying to catch Webb. So he was riding really good there. Took 6 overall after qualifying 4th. He's won 7 Triple Crown rounds.
That is insane.
He never talks about, I mean, I've seen interviews. He never really talks about like, oh yeah, I love these things. He just happens to be good at them.
Yeah.
He just always kind of figures it out and figures out a way to win the overall of these things.
Yep.
So didn't finish more than 2 positions away from where he qualified at a Triple Crown in 2023. So maybe keep an eye on his qualifying if that's going to be an indicator for you. He had the 3rd best average finish per gate drop. Take away that 13th, he's probably 2nd or 1st in that category. So it's 3.67. He won 3 out of the 9 gate drops in Triple Crowns last year, and only had 2 finishes worse than 4th out of 9 Triple Crown gate drops last year.
I like those odds.
I like those odds.
I like everything about it.
With Jett, you're
Dry,
just, yeah.
less variables.
But
so
is he the same Tomac we had last year?
We're about to find out.
Are you putting him, you sound like you're going to pick him to win. Tomac is not my pick to win.
You're going to have to stay tuned for that.
Okay.
I'm not picking him to win.
Well, let's talk about my pick to win. Let's
Okay,
talk about this man right here. We don't even have their number plates up on the table. What are we doing here?
Bring him on up.
Here's the man that I've got picked to win.
Ken Roczen?
Yeah.
Striving and thriving.
Man, he's
Striving and thriving.
he's
dude.
riding real good. But
Him, but here, you want to know a sleeper pick that nobody's going to be thinking about, though? At least for a top 5.
Prado,
Right here. Jorge
killer starter.
Prado. He's coming to A2. He got permission to race a 4th round. We are lucky enough to see this man line back up this weekend. If you watched, okay, let's talk about Roczen first. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, let's talk about him.
So, look, Roczen, stats-wise, starting this year, it's not looking good for Kenny.
Not looking good
Not
for
looking
Kenny.
good for Kenny.
However, he crashed out of, so at Anaheim 1,
Yep.
got caught up in that first rhythm lane, crappy, but rode phenomenal, right? But won his heat race, ripped a whole shot there. His
Second race.
No,
Sorry,
in Anaheim 1.
Yeah. No, I was moving on to.
Oh, second race. Comes out, rips the whole shot in the main, stalls his bike. Unfortunate.
Yep.
This last race, what does he do again? Rips a whole shot.
Well,
Or second.
Stalls his bike second race and works his way back to 3rd.
Right. And then this last race, right up there in the front, he's leading. All I'm saying is Kenny's starts have been really good. And he is, anyone will, I think, agree with me, one of the best sprinters to start any race ever, outdoors or Supercross.
Yep.
When Kenny starts out front, he is so good at just building up a little 3-4 second gap immediately, and then can hold that on. So I'm high on Ken Roczen for the Triple Crown, and he's going to win a race this year.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Let's see, what do we got for stats for him?
Let's see. Took 3rd overall at the A2 Triple Crown last season.
Okay.
Finishes were 2, 3, 4. Got the whole shot in round 2. Finished 3rd there. Hasn't won the overall at a Triple Crown round since round 4 in 2020.
Has it been that long? That's all right.
Had the 4th best average finish and 3rd best average start in Triple Crowns last year. And his worst result was a 6th in a Triple Crown last year.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I'm going to go with Roczen. Like, I'm going to look at qualifying. Another thing, too, you got to keep on with qualifying is that these riders, they do have to go straight to their first gate drop. There's no heat races, right? So you want to have a good qualifying spot.
Yep.
So if you qualify 8th or 9th, you're not putting yourself in a great position for that first gate drop. So I am going to pay attention to the qualifying, right? Just to see where guys are at. Because that's the thing about like AP that kind of worries me, right? AP, not known to be a good qualifier, usually hovers right around that 10th place. I know San Francisco was a little bit different.
Yep.
But, dude, if you're 10th gate pick in a 12-minute sprint race, that's not good.
Yeah.
You got to qualify good at these, I feel like. There's more emphasis on that.
100%.
So, anyway, that's all right. So I'm picking Kenny to win. Who do you have?
Who do I have?
Yeah.
Chase Sexton.
Why?
A lot of reasons. I mean, yeah, he went down last weekend, and just maybe luck hasn't been on his side a little bit, but also before, let's see, was it 2 weeks ago, he said he's felt the best he ever felt on a motorcycle.
Okay.
And I don't know, he's just been looking good to me. And I think with good conditions, I think we're going to see what he can really do.
Well, look, I'm going to tell you why. No, keep Sexton in first. Do it.
Okay.
I'm out on Sexton winning just because his starts this year, look, he ripped the whole shot at San Francisco, but he timed the gate. Like, he got lucky.
Yeah.
A1, his start was mediocre. And then last weekend, dude, he's been like he was last in the first corner at this race for a pretty dang, yeah, literally he's almost dead last. Okay, I stand correct. He's mid-pack there. Yeah. San Francisco, he ripped that, but then in Anaheim, and then he's had like heat races. I'm thinking of his heat race last week. I'm pretty sure he was like buried way back in the pack. I don't know. He hasn't been very consistent off the starts, except for when he times the gate. So I'm just not really high on his starts so far this year.
Did we give his stats already?
No, I mean, go ahead.
Okay, let's see.
He's the only rider to get 2 out of 3
podium. 2 out of 3. 1 point behind Plessinger.
Is he really only just 1 point back?
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay.
Insane, right? Let's see. Has finished within 1 position from when he qualified 2 out of 3 rounds so far, so definitely look at qualifying. Won the overall at A2 Triple Crown last year. Won 2 out of 3 of the mains. So that's looking real good.
It is looking real good. If Chase qualifies P1, means he's just feeling really good on the bike. It might change. Like, I'd probably put him on my podium.
But it's mostly the starts that are...
Yeah, just Kenny's been ripping starts, just a little bit more consistent. So that's just kind of what I'm looking at for these Triple Crowns. So that's where I'm at with him. But I don't know. Sexton was on the podium in 7 and 9 gate drops in Triple Crowns. So, I mean, he was very consistent. Just haven't seen that much consistency out of him this year. And he's just had a lot of weird things happen in some of these main events. So he did have the best average finish in Triple Crowns last year of 2.56. So maybe you're onto something.
Maybe he doesn't win it. Maybe he does. I've got him to win it. I think he's going to do it. But if you don't put him to win, definitely in your top 5.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably on the podium.
We'll see. All right. Okay. Anderson got it. Barcia, yeah, like I said, his starts have been all over the place. 5:22, then 2. That was his first top 5, his first podium. I made the podium last round. That was his first since round 14 of last year. I don't know, man. What do you think about Barcia?
I do think he's going to keep getting stronger and better.
Yeah, he's a guy that builds momentum, right? And he is kind of building as his season goes. Last year he had 3 straight podiums, so he's capable of just ripping off a podium streak.
Yeah.
Did not make the top 5 on qualifying, worse than 10th all of last season. So pay attention to Barcia's qualifying.
Yep.
He is one of those guys where like he could qualify really good, or he might be like in the teens and you don't really understand like. So Barcia's kind of hot and cold when it comes to qualifying.
Yeah, I just feel like he's not as safe as a bet. And
he took 10th overall in the A2 Triple Crown last year. He went 11.86.
Yeah, I'm not digging that.
He hasn't led a lap in a Triple Crown since 2019. That was round 8. Interesting. All right, so Barcia, I don't know. Not high on Barcia right now. All right, this is the Fly Racing Wildcard Watch. And remember, too, we're doing the privateer payout if you're at the races. $1,000 to the riders randomly selected in the LCQ. Another $1,000 if they get in.
Yeah.
The dream one day would be that they talk about it on the broadcast so people watching at home know who the rider selected is.
Yeah.
And then you can cheer
really
for that
cool.
guy.
Yeah.
So that's the goal. One day I hope we get there.
That'll be cool.
Okay. Chase and Chris, what are your points? No. No comment.
Who is Chris?
Get the name right and they might tell you.
I'm your favorite how-to mechanic, okay?
What Chris the hell is
going on?
Oh, jeez.
My points are 90. He's got 65 right now, so...
What?
But I will say, I think they're trying to decide who to listen to on their picks here. So I will say, all the stuff we talked about during qualifying, I mean, check these guys out during qualifying, and if they look good then, definitely put them in. I think that's the takeaway.
Qualifying, I mean, I am going to look at for this round, right? But anyway, Fly Racing Wildcard Watch, 12th place. It's crazy to think that... did I just lisp again?
Congratulations.
Have I taken over? Ken Roczen would have been our wild card this week.
That's so crazy.
Looking good for Kenny.
But I mean,
and here I haven't picked a win. All right.
Due to crashes. He got cross-threaded on that thing, man.
Look,
Such a bummer.
Justin Cooper, results-wise, is on the wild card watch, but I've got bigger expectations for Justin Coop, man. He ripped a really good start last week in the main. He was ahead of Tomac and those guys, but he did go down. He's historically known to be a good starter.
Yep.
Minus this year, I don't know. His starts so far, 16-4. He's finished 8-14. Didn't qualify in San Fran.
That's what I'm impressed with, is the 8th place finish at A1.
Dude, that was the ride of the night that nobody talked about.
Yeah.
Because he, I think, started pretty close to last.
So, yeah, and you can't say the last 2 rounds don't mean anything, but, they're muddy and slick. So, with the track, a little better.
He's finished 3 or more spots away from where he's qualified in both rounds. His best heat finish has been a 6th. Got the whole shot last round and was in 4th by the end of lap 1. I don't know. Maybe that's just a bit of the 450 class being rough and rowdy. But he's a good starter, man. Jay Coop could be one of – I feel like Cooper and Prado are my 2 sleepers for your top 5s this weekend. Because Prado is another guy where I have him like much better than Wildcard just because his starts are so freaking good. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. And then Sid, what's up?
I was going to ask Stewart.
Malcolm?
We got him.
No. Sid, we didn't put Malcolm for
wild card?
Sid, throw up our top 5 picks for the wild card watch real quick. We can't be doing it dirty like that. It breaks my heart that we have Adam Cianciarulo in wild card watch right now. Is there something else going on that we don't know about with AC? I feel like this is more than an arm issue at this point. Again, 2 mudders. Freaking broken record.
Anything can happen in the mud, yeah.
That's so. It's
you
good.
I want to know what Nick is laughing about right now.
You could thank Christian for this.
Anybody that looks
this
at that
photo
man
of Adam Cianciarulo, just killing it with the vintage fit, man.
Sometimes
Thanks,
you see
Christian.
Fresh.
Sometimes you see a world class athlete and you just think, how are you so good at what you do?
Yeah.
AC is one of them right now.
Yeah.
Where you just think like you're one of the top 1% of all dirt bike racers in the world.
I will say, though, if you could hang out with any rider for a day, he'd probably be one of the funnest ones to hang out with.
I'd want to go play 18 holes of golf with AC.
He's a cool dude.
He is. He's just so nerdy in that picture. All right.
Having a good time doing it.
But look,
all right, let's hear the stats.
See, you and I are old enough to know that white sunglasses were popular.
At one point in
time. In the early 2000s. What year did you graduate high school? 05?
I don't want to talk about it.
I was 03. I'll go first. Were you 04 or 05?
05.
Okay. Adam Cianciarulo, 2024 starts 9-3-15, finishes 12-8-13. So statistically, man, I just want to know where the starts went. AC used to always start so good. Yeah, he'd get pushed back, but we haven't seen that yet. I mean, I didn't even realize he started 3rd in San Francisco. Went to the LCQ last round for the first time ever in his 450 career. I don't know. Dang. First time for everything. His best finish in a Triple Crown main event was 3rd in M1. What was that? Minneapolis, round 4 of 2020. I don't know. His last 3 Triple Crown overalls 8-9-6. I don't know. I just feel like there's something else with AC. Does anybody have any insight in the chat that I might not be knowing about? Because just doesn't seem.
Let's see what they're saying.
Dog Lover just said I was born in 04. We have people in the chat that were born after I graduated high school.
Let me tell you something.
Jeez. AC will battle with Prado. What?
Oh, no. Just an old joke.
I mean, okay, who else do we have in this wild card watch? I think McElrath, who I had on that list, is a really good option.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, he got 4th.
Let's see, 17-4-16 this season.
I don't have his number plate, and I'm going to blame Sid because she said they were all here.
First 3 starts, 10-5-17.
Or I just didn't grab it.
Average finish.
She threw it at me, and I didn't catch it.
Shoot and a miss.
All right.
Average finish and start in the Triple Crowns last season were both 14.
Okay. I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, average finish in 2023 was 13.91 per gate drop, and with average start of 14.55.
Okay. Yeah, McElrath to me is a really good pick. Dean Wilson also, I think, is a really good pick for this weekend's wild card.
I think he's an awesome pick.
Is that who you have right now?
That's what I have, and a lot of it is just based off consistency.
Would you pick a Dean Wilson or a McElrath? Like, who would beat the other in a Triple Crown? Like, just one-on-one, mano-y-mano.
I used to be the man.
I think
I'd honestly
this
go.
is hard. I'm going with Wilson.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
McElrath, to me, though, has a greater chance of getting a good start in one or maybe two of these races. Because McElrath's always been known to have good starts.
Yeah.
It's kind of like lightning. Doesn't always strike twice.
Doesn't always.
But McElrath could rip off a couple good starts. So that's why I'd maybe put him ahead of Wilson as far as the overall goes. So Wilson, he started out 16, 16, 10, and he's qualified in 16th all 3 rounds so far.
So that's the interesting one to me is
Yeah.
16-16, and then he's finishing right there too.
He's finished within 3 spots of where he started in each round so far. So he's starting right there and he's finishing within those 3 spots. So I mean, think about it. He started 16th twice. It means he's finishing 12th to 13th, right in that range, right? And I don't expect Dean Wilson to start 10th in a main event with this field right now and necessarily finish 10th. I can see him starting 16th and working up a few spots.
Yeah.
And I can see him starting 10th and going back to 12th.
Yeah. Either one.
Is that how you feel?
Kind of how I feel. I just feel like out of everyone,
Yeah.
he's the most consistent to be in that general area.
Okay.
So
In 2022, his average finish and start in Triple Crowns was 11.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's got some stats to back it up, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's something else going on with AC, and I just really don't know what it is. We'll figure it out. And then, yeah, I mean, Benny Bloss is another one. Like, if Benny Bloss qualifies really good, you might look at him, but he's only made one main event, which was last week. Not known to be that good of a starter. So, I don't know. I'm just not, like, Dean Wilson, AC, McElrath. Didn't even talk about Craig yet. But what do you do with Christian Craig? Like, him and Malcolm Stewart are the 2 guys that are the biggest, just like WTF right now, where they could be a top 5 rider, but they have less points combined than Hunter Lawrence out of 3 main events.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
that's the hard part. It's like if they keep it on 2 wheels, they're going to be further up.
see with Craig and Malcolm, like, to put them in the wild card, I feel like you'd still be banking on something bad happening. Wilson and McElrath, you're going to put those guys there regardless of where they start, probably going to end up around that spot. AC is kind of in that same boat. Those 2, I'm just like, they've got to crash or something bad happen to finish that far back, especially in a Triple Crown when you got 3 goes at it.
Yep.
You feel about the same way?
I feel about the same way.
Curse of the onesie? Got it. Christian?
Hold on, let's see this.
What? I don't think they wore the onesie. Although, dude, a onesie would be really good in a mud race.
Yeah, did Craig only wear the onesie at A1?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just saying that onesie would be really good to wear in a mud race. You wouldn't get mud going down your freaking pants.
Beautiful.
So I'm totally on board with that. Or overalls. Or some overalls.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. All right, well, I mean, yeah, that's the wild card watch. Comment right now. Maybe let's just do a poll real quick. I would say our top 3, it's got to be Wilson, McElrath, and Cianciarulo. Those are going to be, I would assume, the most picked riders right now. Like I said, Jorge Prado, he's a sleeper for a top 5 if you want to throw him in there. Justin Cooper as well. I know we've got Cooper in the wild card, but that's just going off of stats. But if I was a betting man,
probably a little higher up.
A little higher up than that. Yep. Is there anybody like Kyle Chisholm, but he'd have to have like a stellar night to get a 12. Same thing goes for like Benny Bloss, you know. A couple guys that could, but not very likely. That's all I got for that.
So there you have it. Fly Racing Wild Card Watch.
Ooh. Chuck,
Hey,
you know what time it is. What's
I
up?
want to throw out something from the chat real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
We had some bets on someone having a season-ending injury this week.
What?
Do you think everybody's a
have
little bit
not
tired of just the wet, and they're just going to send it this week?
Well, I don't know about send it, but I'm sure like if they ever had a mud race, it'd be too soon. If they never saw a mud race, it's going to be too soon. I don't remember last time we had 2 mudders in a row.
I don't know. I do feel like we're going to see the aggression, like kind of like a A1 all over again.
That's what I'm thinking.
I just feel like, I mean, Catanzaro, he talked about how, and comment in the chat if you feel the same way or if you disagree with me. I don't know. I do. The Hill brothers, Josh Hill especially not. Somebody asked about the Hill brothers for Wildcard. Josh Hill, I would put absolutely not. Justin Hill, I don't know. He didn't qualify last week. I don't know where to put him. Could he get 12th overall? Sure. Is he as likely? I don't think so. But anyway, I just feel like the Eli Tomacs, the Cooper Webbs, Jason Anderson, Ken Roczen, if you want to be in this title hunt, you got to start winning a race here real soon. And I know Tomac said, like, I just want to be within reach of the points chase, leaving California. So here we are, leaving California after this round.
Yep.
But
he can't lose anymore. He can't get any more back. So
no, because once you get into round 6, 7, we're going to see some repeat winners, in my opinion, right? And so if you haven't won a race by then, if you're some of these guys, I don't know if it's going to look very good. You know what I mean?
No.
What are you going to do?
Well, yeah, and at that point you might start losing confidence and you don't have the momentum and got to make some moves.
Okay, I agree. So anyway, that's why we're going to do this right now. We're going to do the Acerbis Lock Em In, and here it is. Here are my picks. I am high on this man right now. Sid, put him up on the board. I got Ken Roczen.
Striving and thriving.
Yes. Which, by the way, did they move to St. George area?
From what I've heard, he posted a picture out in St. George on the rocks.
Been riding his mountain bike, doing
little mountain bike stuff.
You got suntan, baby.
That's right. Anyway, I'm going to go Ken Roczen. I'm going to go Tomac second. I'm going to go Cooper Webb third. Coop is that guy that hunts guys down. Never been much of like just all-out raw speed. So that's why, we'll see. But I've got Coop third. I've got Jett Lawrence with another 4th place. I just want to see Jett get 3 consistent starts. If Jett wins, won't surprise me. But I've learned a valuable lesson. I am going to go AP in my 5th place spot. And then right now, unfortunately, I do have Christian Craig in my wild card. Not looking good for Craig. What do you got, dude?
So, yeah, I've got Chase Sexton up front.
No, that's AP. Hold on. Let me get Sexton right here. Think he gets the 1 plate back?
I think he gets it back.
Okay.
So I've got Chase Sexton, Jett Lawrence, Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb, and AP is going to be in the top 5. He's been in the top 5 every weekend so far, so I feel like, safe pick. And then Wilson, he's been pretty consistent. So
I still feel like we're not, like Aaron Plessinger just won. He got 4th at A1, and we're still putting him all the way down in 5th. I feel like we're making a mistake. But we don't have Anderson in there. I don't know.
Well, and he did start pretty far up.
Starts
last
been
race,
good.
But yeah, it's all the conditions.
We keep doing this. We keep doing this. AP's going to podium this weekend and just make us all look bad. Hunter Lawrence is another guy that could easily top 5 this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
We have not seen the real Hunter Lawrence. So that's another sleeper pick. Hunter might be a good pick for 5th overall.
Say it.
Say what?
Hunter.
Say it.
Hunter. Hunter might be a good pick
People
for
wanna
5th
hear it.
overall. Hunter. Hey, props to Hunter, by the way, for not getting involved in the Jett Anderson beef.
Yeah.
Because he was right there.
Yeah, he could have got sucked in real easy.
He watched Anderson go and grab his helmet. So I don't know. I would love to know what that conversation was at the truck right after it happened.
Yeah.
But if you're Hunter, I feel like you're just like, dude, like, you do your thing. Let me do mine. I'm not going to get involved in my brother's beef.
Yep.
Because the last thing that Jett Lawrence needs, because everyone already says like he's hiding behind his camp, which I've said, I'll say it again. I don't even think Jett really has a say. He's in what he gets to do.
Yep.
And the last thing we need to hear is that Jett's just hiding behind Hunter. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that. So,
that's all I got.
And I don't know. We've all been 20. We've all made mistakes.
No, every one of them's done it. It is what it is. And yeah, Anderson is 10 years older than Jett.
Not taking sides.
Yeah, let's not beat a dead horse. You've heard our opinions. But hey, I'm just here for the comments.
Yep.
And I'm here for some racing this weekend. But I'll tell you what, though. If Jett and Ando start right next to each other, oh, boy. But, again, I think we're all reading into too much. I think we're good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Let's. It is the meme event. We have some memes that we want to show you real quick before we let everybody go. Let's see what they are. Oh, hold on. Someone's calling me out here.
That many fines? Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
This year?
getting mixed up with
Oh,
Barcia
jeez.
there. No. Oh, yeah. AP rolling in.
Okay.
Represent.
I like it.
Stoked on life.
I can hear the Kid Rock in the background of this photo, dude.
Cowboy, baby.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Good luck.
I think we'll be all right,
Does
dude.
he do more defense or more offense?
I don't know. Let's see. That's how a lot of people felt. Although, I think last year him crashing was more emotionally devastating to anybody than the win was. Like, I felt, I don't know. How do you feel? Like, I was super pumped to see him win, but I was emotionally more torn when he crashed out last year while leading.
Yeah, just one dumb little mistake and cost the whole thing. And he said he rode that one lap different than all the rest.
Is it true he didn't get the neck burn? That the pyro didn't go off when he went over the finish line?
Uh-huh.
So he still doesn't know
neck
what
burn.
that feeling's like. Gosh.
Neck burn from a distance.
All right, what else do we got here?
Oh, man, I think he was too high on life.
Kairu, is that? Kairu is just going off with the memes.
Yeah.
Welcome.
There's so many good ones, too.
I know.
I was laughing.
You guys got to go to the Discord. The link's in the description. Go look at the rest of these in the Discord. But yeah, I mean,
Jett being added to Hombre's hit list.
well, that's what makes it worse. Like, if there was 2 riders in all of AMA Supercross racing that you didn't want to have mad at you, those are 2. And the thing is like Anderson's not mad about like what happened on the track. It's just all about what happened, the aftermath. So I don't see Anderson retaliating like you punted me, I owe you a T-bone. Like I don't see that as far as on the track goes. Let your riding do the work.
Yep.
And same thing goes for Jett. All right, well, there we have it. Those are some of our favorite memes. So remember, follow us on the Discord. Link is down below. Go there. You can see the chat. We've got a live chat. People absolutely love it. It is a blast, and that's where all the memes are, too. So, yes, please go check that out.
Hey, also.
What's up?
If you guys want to win those, or not win, but if you guys want the tickets for Detroit,
Arlington. Glendale.
Glendale, baby.
I keep messing that up. Glendale. If you want those, you got to comment after this video.
Are people commenting already?
Yeah, somebody commented way earlier, like kind of right after we were mentioning it. So, just a reminder.
Ooh.
After we aren't live anymore, comment on this video. Let us know how many tickets you need, and then you'll be in the running.
Okay, there it is. So. All right, everybody. Well, look, thank you so much for tuning in live today on YouTube. Hope you liked that interview we had with AJ Catanzaro. Make sure to go check him out at the Moto Academy. If you're going to be at Anaheim, too, I will be there this weekend, but I will be running around with the film crew. So if you see me, though, stop me, say hello. And I don't know if I'm going to be doing much live announcing on the floor as I was in San Francisco, but I would love some feedback. If you guys hear me talking on the stadium floor in the stadium, I would love some feedback.
Yeah.
All right.
That's awesome.
Anything else? Remember, grand prizes up for grabs, and we got the weekly Sid. One more time, weekly prizes. Would have got it for grabs this week. Just as a quick reminder, there it is.
7 gear, tires, fastway pegs. You've got the FXR contender set. Some stuff from Matrix Concepts, ASV brake and clutch levers, Rhino Power stuff, Fly, Acerbis, and 100%.
That's right. So look, everybody, get your picks in. And, yeah, let's go racing this Saturday. Anaheim 2, round 4. We'll see you next week.
See ya.